Hi guys, my name is Bianca and welcome to my channel. If you're new here and you like this video, don't forget to hit that subscribe button. So in one of my previous videos, I did talk to you guys about my book cover and I actually revealed what my book cover looks like, and that was a really exciting process. But today I'm going to talk to you guys a bit about how I actually made my book cover and what the process is like. I think having a good book cover is so critical to the success of your book. If you don't have a good book cover, your book's probably not going to sell, because the book cover is the first thing that the reader sees when they pick it up, and it's got to really catch their eye for them in order for the reader to be drawn to it. I knew that when I wanted to do my own book cover, I wanted to make it, and I had been told by other people not to do that, and that was unwise, and to actually get someone else to do it for me so it would look more professional. But I didn't listen to them because I knew that I wanted to have a hand in each aspect of my book, and I wanted to be fully involved in that process. And I wouldn't advise to all of you to actually go out and make your own covers, because I think that some people are more creative than others, and I'm quite lucky that I'm quite a creative person, so that's why I went out and I tried doing it myself. But don't let that stop you from actually going out and trying, and if it doesn't work, there's no problem, you can just go out and find someone else who's probably a bit more experienced. I know that I wanted to give it a try first, and if it didn't work, I was going to go out and look for someone to hire. So the first thing that I did was I did a lot of research on photo editing softwares. So I know that there's quite basic ones, but I needed something that was a bit more in-depth so I could make sure that I could make the adjustments to the pictures that I wanted so I could actually make the cover. So I looked at a few different options. I looked at Canva, but the problem with Canva is I could figure out how to do just the front cover, but when you make a book cover, you've got to think of doing the front, the spine, and the back. And Canva just wasn't really that suitable for me, and there was only so much that I could really do with it. So I ruled out Canva, even though Canva is actually a really good option, and if you're actually just publishing your book in a Kindle form, then I would go right ahead and do it in Canva if I were you. But I wanted something that was a bit more like Photoshop. So I looked up Photoshop, but they only had basically the monthly subscriptions, and it was just too expensive, and I was only going to use it this one time basically. So I ruled that out. But then after some research, I found a photo image editing program called Gimp. So Gimp is actually a free program and you can download it from the internet, but just make sure you download it from a reputable site. And when I downloaded Gimp, I actually really struggled using it. There are a lot of tools on the side menu, and I had to play around with it a lot to actually get used to the way that it works. If you're tech savvy, I think that Gimp is actually a really good program to use. If you're less experienced with computers, you might struggle a bit. But I found that Gimp did what I wanted it to do. I could cut images and erase things, and it just worked. So once I figured out how to use Gimp, I started to look for an image, and I looked through some free sites and there wasn't really anything there, so I knew that I had to find a better quality image, and the way to do that is to go to sites that have a lot of stock images and to purchase an image from there. I need to warn you guys, when you're looking for your images, you need to be really careful. You can't just get an image off Google and use that for your cover, because later on you're going to get into copyright issues and the owner of that image may sue you. So you don't want to get yourself into all that trouble. You're better off using an image from a site that has free stock images, or actually purchasing the image as well. I ended up going onto Shutterstock and I found my image, and as soon as I saw it, I fell in love with it. I knew that it was the one, and I knew that if I saw that image on another book cover, I would pick it up. So it was sort of like love at first sight with this image. And I paid for a one-time purchase. So there's a certain amount that you can pay. I think you can pay $50 for 5 images or something like that. So I went off and I purchased that, and then I bought the image. And then after that, I went off and I looked for another image. So I had this vision in my head that I wanted broken glass or fractured glass sort of cracking the image. So to do that, I needed to find an image with broken glass. So I ended up going onto a free image website called Pixabay. Pixabay has a lot of great images. I actually looked for my main book cover image on there, but there wasn't really anything that caught my interest, so that's why I went to a paid site. But I ended up finding a picture of broken glass and I ended up downloading it. In Gimp, I made a 6x9 canvas and then I imported both of the images in. So I started off with the main image and I sort of readjusted it to figure out how much of the image I wanted to include, how close did I want it to be to the faces, who did I want in the photograph, and I did that. I brought the other image through of the broken glass and then I inserted it on top of that, and I had to actually really slowly trace around the whole image with the eraser to get rid of the background, so I had nothing but the broken glass there. It was a bit of a fiddly process. I had to delete things out of the image and then sort of trace really finely around the edges because I wanted it to look as realistic as possible. And then after that I moved it over the main image and I had to sort of play around where I was going to have the bit that had the broken glass black center, so I wouldn't go over any of the characters' faces. So I had the woman's image on the left and then I had the man's image on the right. And I sort of wanted to make sure that I had enough of the man's face as well, so I sort of had to move it to adjust it according to that. And then I got the paintbrush and I painted over black in the other section, so I blacked out the center of the broken glass and then the right hand side. So next was the font. So fonts are super important. I played around with the fonts for a while. I went through nearly all of the fonts to find the right one. Fonts make such a difference if you get it right. You've got to make sure that your font actually suits the tone of your book as well. Played around with them. I think I found a different font for my book title and a different font for my author name. And I put my book title down the bottom and my author font at the top. I then played around a lot with the image's brightness and the contrast. I wanted to make sure that the glass didn't look like a separate image and it looked like the same image and it all blended, and that the tone of the main picture was right. Then my front cover was done. I ended up importing the photo or exporting whatever, made it into a JPEG, and yeah, I was finished. It took me around about 3 hours to do it all together, but it was a process where everything just went by so fast. I was completely focused. I was getting a lot done, so it was just a really productive day. I still haven't done the whole book cover image, so I haven't done the spine, but I have done the back cover and I still need to put all of that together, so that's something still on my to-do list. But I hope you guys got some pointers and I hope that I really helped you guys in this video so you can make your own book cover images. If you have any questions about creating a book cover, drop them down in the comments down below. And if you're interested in more of these writing related videos, don't forget to like and subscribe. Thank you for watching.